Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are all doing great on this Thursday evening. Yeah, so look at me, 2 days in a row going live. Whoop whoop. Doesn't happen much these days, so anytime I'm gonna celebrate my smallest victories when it comes to those kind of things. And I think maybe that's the energy that's gonna be in the reading. Who knows? I really don't know yet. But that is interesting how I picked up on that. There might be people in your energy who, no matter what you try to do, they kind of, shun you or try to knock you down and bring your energy down, but don't let them, is what I just kind of got. With all that said, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And I hope that you like what you see here and decide to stick around and, see what the energy is like, and, see if this is a channel that you would like to continue to watch and or support. Hit that subscribe button, that like button, all those great things that help support the channel. And yeah, if you feel comfortable, also interact within the comment section so that I can see your comments and the people that end up watching during this live. And for those of you who already been rocking with your girl for a while, welcome back. I just saw 1, 2, 3 when I looked up. So definitely about getting in alignment, right? Getting more in tune with where you feel spiritually guided to go is what I'm kind of getting so far. Now we don't know what's going to come up yet, right? We've been playing cards, but I just wanted to kind of give that quick little tidbit, all right, of what I'm picking up on so far. So with all that said, like I said, welcome to the reading, and I hope that you like what you see here. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hey, one of my sisters in the building. Hi, girl. Miss you. I love you. Phoenix Priestess here. Check her out. Check her out. Check her out. Check her out. I love her. As my soul, so my best friend. So definitely. And then we got another one here. I Inspire Tarot. Check her out as well. Another sister in the building. I'm so grateful and appreciative of the people who are a part of my tribe, who I rely on when I'm going through things and stuff like that, who help me and keep me inspired, no pun intended, so on and so forth. Quick little tidbit, if you guys feel like listening to this, or maybe I should just, you know what, I'm just going to dive into the reading. Maybe for those of you who decide to stick around, I will share some information later. And yeah, so all right, let's get into the reading. I already cleansed the space and all that good stuff, cleansed myself and my energy. So let's get started. So the first thing I wanted to look into is the energy oracle deck. Love this deck. It's really good for like these kind of general readings because, it kind of touches base on everything that you kind of need to know or see. I did see yin and yang when I split the deck. So Spirit, I'm going to let positive energy into this reading for the collective. Show them what they need to see at this time for their highest good. Clearest and most accurate, please, and thank you. What does the collective need to see at this time? I saw a cornucopia like that. Couple more shuffles. Spirit. Ooh. Man holding a heart. What? Okay, so some of you might have love on the brain, or somebody is thinking about you in that way. That could be the energy that might be getting ready to shift for some people. Don't know. Hey, Mirshana, how are you? Alright, let's get like maybe 3 from here. Just to get like a little bit of a basis of what's kind of happening with the collective. Clear some most accurate messages, please and thank you. What we got? Okay, so we had the man with a heart, and now we have the thinking man. So that's like sword energy. Interesting. So kind of thinking about something, maybe trying to make head over heart decisions. I'm getting for some of you. On the bottom of the deck, we do have a door to spirit, so feeling guided and led. to do something. Let's dig deeper into this. We have storm warnings. So some of you guys might have went through some recent like trials and tribulations that might be leading towards you having like, or trying to make like head over heart decisions maybe. The temple path, walking. Okay, see, now I see where this is going. Some of you guys might have had to walk away from a relationship. Yeah, you might have had to take action in a new direction. Interesting. Tell us more. Which is why that head over heart kept on like kind of coming into my brain. I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? Yeah, it's something along those lines. Tell us more. Yeah, journey. Some of you might have physically moved recently or are thinking about doing so. I'm also getting this is like a part of your soul's journey, right? As this energy is shifting, there are certain things that had to transpire before you could get to this point of it. And I did see this while I was shuffling. We do have cornucopia here. So, you know, kind of seeing, you know, your harvest coming in, right? We are in the fall season. So, you know, all that hard work that you put in during, you know, different areas and times of your life, we'll say spring loosely, you know, just watching things happen, right? Planting those seeds and watching them grow, seeing your harvest happen, all that hard work paying off. We also have community here on the top of the deck, so this might be a time to rely on your community, the people that are really close to you, building new meaningful relationships. I'm getting for some of you, that could be about finances, so take that as it resonates. Woman holding a coin here in the middle of the deck. So some of you guys might be working on like some type of business venture or career venture, business career. For some of you, this seems a little more specific. This is not going to be for everybody, but some of you moved for work purposes. Let me know if that resonates with anybody. Or you might have to kind of drive a little bit further than you're used to for work. Getting something like that too. But you're building a community. This is a part of the journey as well. So let's get one or two more from here, and then we're going to dive into the tarot portion. Let's get a couple more clear messages from here. And I keep on getting like, and I said it early in the reading, like before anybody was really even here yet. One of the messages that I was kind of picking up on before I even pulled any cards or anything was like, if there are any like naysayers in your life or anything who kind of like bring you down, your energy down, who kind of try to dim your light, just one, be mindful of those kind of people, because those are energies you don't want around you for starters. And also just make sure you don't allow that energy to like permeate your own thought process when it comes to how you feel about yourself and what it is that you're trying to do for yourself. That stuck out to me very, very, very clearly even earlier. So before I even pulled any cards, so I'm just mentioning it again. But yeah, let's see what else is going on. Thank you. There we go. There you go. Oh, this came out challenging. Man holding heart. So the fact that that's coming out challenging, I feel like that's what you've kind of been distancing yourself from. Somebody who you might have really like fawned over. I heard the word fawned. Fawned over, and removed yourself from that. They might have had long hair. They might have been super attractive, like a nice build and stuff. But I'm getting somebody who was like love bombing and stuff like that, and you had to kind of distance yourself from that. And it took you some major strength to remove yourself from that situation. Angel of Strength here. Some of you might have Leo in your chart, or for some of you, I'm not sure why I'm picking up on this. Something might have happened during Leo season. Let me know if that resonates. But yeah, let's get one more from here. 10, 10. Nice. And then we have 5 people and 5 likes. So the number 10 might be very important right now for some of you. You might be seeing it a lot. Or it could just be saying that there are some, we got something that came out challenging. What is it? The Angel of Strength. Yeah, see, this was hard, whatever this was for you guys, especially if this was like about something that you had to remove yourself from in terms of love. Like, it was not an easy decision. And here's that number 5 again, right? We got 50, which with it being with a 0 just adds up to 5. So there were some major changes that had to take place, and it was definitely a true testament of your strength and your resilience to figure out how to move about the situation and do things. For some of you, there might have been financial constraints that made you stay in a circumstance longer than you would have liked, or being in this situation caused you financial constraints. I'll share 11:11 as I say this. I can quickly share that I remember I was in a relationship about 4 years ago, and guys, like, I was on top of my shit. I had a nice ass apartment, and I had a relatively new car, new to me, like not brand new, but like new to me. Um, like, I had my whole life going for me, and I was like, really doing well in career and all that. Finances, credit, everything was on point. Like, I think my credit at the time was like a 762 or something like that. Crazy good, right? And then I started dating somebody who was a karmic. Now, I'm not gonna put all the blame on this person. That's not what I'm getting at here. But I will say there are times when we don't understand how the people in our circle and the circumstances that we allow ourselves to be in, how those situations and circumstances, people, so on and so forth, can kind of have some ramifications over what happens in our life at those times. I will say that. So it's all about learning, right? And trying to gain some type of knowledge. When you stay in situations way longer than you should, you're going to keep on seeing the ramifications happen, and it's not going to get any better. So you have to, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I looked up. Like, it's about being in alignment with where you're trying to go. So when there are people and or situations, whether it's your own, behaviors and beliefs, so on and so forth, that are hindering your progress, there are things that have to be done. And it's not always going to be easy. And it will sometimes take a lot of strength and courage to do it. So, it is kind of what it is, right? But like I said, it could have caused you some major setbacks in different areas, including financially. So it might have taken a lot of willpower. I keep getting Leo energy here. It might have took a lot of willpower for you to get out of these circumstances. You might even had dealt with like some stomach issues, or you might still deal with stomach issues. Like, I'm getting like IBS, Crohn's disease, stuff like that. Let me know if that makes any sense. Nausea. Sounds like a Pepto Bismol commercial. But I'm not trying to be funny. I have IBS, so like I'm actually being like dead ass serious. I'm not like lying or making shit up. I'm being serious. This is what I started picking up on. The reason why is because we have third chakra archangel Kamiel here, which is above the solar plexus, and for some reason, like, as I'm looking at this, like, it's like all lit up too. It's like that stomach is lit up, and then like right there, so it's giving me like heartburn. Yeah, maybe you're one of those kind of individuals where, like, when you have major stressors, that's one of the things that are affected the most. I would resonate with that personally. And we have the temple path here in the middle of the deck. All right, so we got a little bit of a groove going, seeing kind of what's happening here, and just I am getting this overall energy for a lot of the people who will end up watching this and resonating with it, that there was this head over heart decision that needed to be made, a tower moment, that had to take place, and it's a part of the soul's journey at this time to be able to find that strength and resilience within self and move forward. Quick little tidbit there. Let's see. These cards cards up out of here. My new favorite deck. And I mean, not for nothing, but the fact that before I even shuffle or anything, the card on the bottom of the deck is the Hierophant, which is about tradition. It's about value systems and beliefs. It's also about like seeking counsel, teaching, stuff like that. It could also be about like higher level commitment or marriage. So some of you might resonate with the idea that this could have been that card wanted to really come out. Some of you guys might resonate with the idea that this energy that's showing up is a person that you were either married to or had a higher level of commitment with, or people in your life who've tested boundaries when it comes to your value systems and the things that you believe in, which might have led you to take a leap of faith to move in a new direction. Let me know if that resonates with any of you. I will also say that this is just a collective message at this time. So, if you don't want to stay because you wanted something more personal, completely understandable. If you would like to stick around and just see if there's a message within this reading for you, by all means, stick around. Would greatly appreciate that. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the like button, notification bell, all those different things that can help support the channel. And also just to, intermingle within the comments and, talk amongst yourselves. And when I have a chance to respond to you guys, I will. Because right now I'm more focused on like the reading itself. So I do try to look up periodically at the comments, but sometimes, they kind of miss me. I'm not gonna hold you on that. I knew this card was gonna come out for some reason. We got the Knight of Cups. So this is definitely kind of looking like a little bit of a love reading kind of thing. That's been showing up a lot lately. Like even if I'm just doing general stuff, like love just seems to show up all the time. Like it is what it is, Yes, it is the season. A lot of people are thinking about, rebuilding connections. We are in retrograde. I think, if I remember correctly, I think there's like 3 different planets in retrograde. So there's a lot of weird shit happening when it comes to that kind of stuff. You got the Ace of Cups. Yeah, I mean, come on, it's just getting more like a love reading than that. So it's like there's just a lot of that type of energy going on. And the Fool. So some of you guys might be thinking about like going back into the dating world if you've taken a break. You might also resonate with the reading that I did last night if you didn't get to see that. To check that out if you'd like. All right, so let's see. Let's get we're going to just do a whatever comes out. I usually do spreads, but we're going to do a whatever comes out based off of this energy we're seeing here so far. Or should I just clarify each card? Haven't done it that way in a while. Let's do that. Clarify the thinking man. That's one thing I love about tarot. It's so flexible in that way. You can have your own like system of how you do things and stuff like that. That one flew out. Okay, I've got 2 actually. Okay, so with that thinking man card there, we also have that is clarifying it. We have the 4 of Wands here. Nice. And the Sun. So there's a lot of deep thought when it comes to, overall happiness and abundance and growth, expansion, fertility, and the home life. Wanting something solid, right? That could be like where that head over heart comes in. It's like, this is what you guys really aspire to, but then the emotions might get in the way. If like there's certain people in the energy that kind of throw that off. Yeah, see? Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. 7 of Swords here on the bottom of the deck, which is about deception, right? And it's like, here you guys are, Queen of Pentacles, trying to just, you're very practical, right? You have the tendency and ability to be able to be logical and practical at the same time. But, there are times where the emotions could kind of get in the way a little bit. And it can make you feel a little bit foolish from time to time, because we saw the Fool more than once. Like the Fool is usually like a leap of faith kind of energy, but it can also represent like actually making foolish decisions. In this case, maybe at the risk of your own happiness. So, You know, maybe some of you have like kind of become hardened in that way because you're like, okay, well, I can't keep on, you know, just being all willy-nilly out here with my heart and shit and my emotions and, you know, whatever. So let me start, you know, being a little bit more practical and, you know, like I said, hardened, right? More thought driven versus, you know, emotion. Getting something like that. Let me know if it resonates at all. I don't have my glasses on. I'm so sorry. I think it says Tanika. Hi, Tanika. Or, yeah, I think it says something along those lines. If I said it wrong and I butchered your name, I completely apologize. I do also see Marissa's name, Roderick. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate y'all. Tell us more about the storm warning card. Here's the most accurate message. Thank you. That damn fool card just won't stop. There we go. We got the fool. Showed up so many times throughout this reading already. Yeah, it's definitely giving me like, you know, because the storm warning card in that particular deck is also like basically like the tower. And it's like, you know, in order for the tower to happen, there's like a major shakeup in your life where, you know, you get like a lot of, you know, different heavy energies that happen all at one time, really sudden, and it just kind of uproots everything. And you have to figure it all out, like, where the fuck do I go from here? You know what I mean? And now that allows you to have a, in a sense, like a new start of, you know, how to go about this part of the journey, which kind of is a perfect segue into the next part, which is I'm going to look into the journey card. Yeah, and before I do that, we also have like the Seven of Wands here on the bottom, which is about standing your ground and, you know, really standing up for what you believe in, right? Moving forward with victory and success. Some of you might be literally physically moving or have done so recently. You've been manifesting, right? You guys are really working on that sense of willpower when it comes to having that drive and passion when it comes to what it is that you want and what makes sense to you and not, you know, for everybody else. Tell us more. Tell us more. Anybody who's new to the channel, welcome. I really appreciate seeing like some new names and whatnot. Appreciate anybody who's been tapping in. It's awesome to see new people popping up, and I really hope to see your names again in the near future. Hit that like button and that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. All right, tell us more. Tell us about journey. Thank you. All right. Two of Pentacles. I'm getting that, and all of a sudden, like I went, like I couldn't breathe for a second. Like it was like out of nowhere. I did look up at like 2323, which is like it adds up to 5, and if you add both of those up, you know, it's, you know, it adds up to 10. So I'm kind of getting that like there was like some major changes that were like kind of about to start happening in your life or are happening currently, and it was rough, right? Like again, it took some major endings and whatnot to bring in these new beginnings and decisions, because that Two of Pentacles is about kind of like decision making, but it's also about going back and forth about a decision. Like, how do I, you know, make something happen? Am I really ready for these changes? Am I ready to go on this journey? Am I ready to move forward with my life? Excuse me. Yeah, I feel like, you know, you guys are givers. You guys really care about, you know, being there for other people and helping people, really charitable, if you will. And you've had to learn how to kind of pull back on that, because it's like, you know, now it's like, okay, well, I need to pour into myself the way that I pour into everyone else. That might be a part of the journey. You know, learning how to kind of balance it out and, you know, not over pour into anybody or anything. And I'm noticing like my throat chakra, when I said that, it's starting to get a little, like my tone is getting like kind of scratchy as I say that. So that might be really, really important for somebody. Let me know if that resonates. Yeah, again, we got that strength energy. It took a lot of strength for you guys to be able to say, I'm going to go on this part of this journey of my life, my you know, my self-exploration. Wow. Got a little bit emotional there. I'm not going to cry in the camera this time. Not doing it. Ace of Pentacles here in the middle of the deck. Yeah, so some of you, you know, I feel like, you know, there's a lot of blessings here, like on the other side of all of this. And, you know, it's like literally the hand of the Most High, like presenting to you, like, oh, like we have this here for you. Like, you went through all that shit. We saw what you went through, and we see the changes that you've made to, you know, prompt growth. And now they're offering you something so much better than anything you ever had before. If it hasn't started to happen yet, it's in the process, right? It does take time. Rome was not built in a day, right? Like it takes time to work on our soul growth and development. So I hope that resonates with somebody, even if it's just one person, you know. Tell us more about this man holding a heart in a challenged position. Hey, Len, how are you? It looks like we're not playing. All right, so what else we got? Oh, okay. So we have two cards that came out together and they like spilled out. We have the Eight of Swords here, which is about really being in your head, right? It's kind of like a restriction, but it's like kind of self-inflicted, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, kind of like a self-inflicted mental prison that, you know, we all have a tendency to do from time to time. You know, we all have our tendencies to be this person, the thinking man. You might have air in your chart somewhere. And I mean, to be a thinker is not in and of itself a bad thing, but you know, we don't want to like, you know, let that cloud our judgment and things like that, right? And we also have the Five of Cups in the reverse. Hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome. Now with that, clarifying that man holding a heart in the reverse is kind of giving me, remember I was saying way early in the reading, I said something about like head over heart decisions. It's giving me that even now. It's like you guys had to like, you're either in the process of doing this or you have done it already. Take it as it resonates and leave it if it doesn't, but because it's gonna look different for everybody. But you know, just kind of getting over like that hump of, you know, the pain that was associated with this person, right? This is somebody who you did care about, and now you're like, okay, you know, I dealt with the pain and the disappointments. Now it's time for me to get out of my head and start to think with this instead of with this. Now, obviously, there's importance when it comes to balance, because if we start to ignore our heart, that's not really good either, right? But for where you are in your journey at this time, that is a pivotal and an important part. I am from Connecticut, here in the States. Where are you from? You guys can also comment too if you don't mind. Where are you guys from? Um, we have Eight of Pentacles here on the bottom. So you guys have been really working hard on yourselves, especially when it comes to balancing emotions and whatnot. Yeah, working on your overall sense of contentment and wish fulfillment. Yeah, you're manifesting. This Magician card, I think this is the second or third time that is showing up in this reading tonight. All right, tell us more about that Angel of Strength in the reverse. Clear some most accurate message, please. Something wanted to come out really strong, but I don't know what that was. Like I felt it, like I thought it was gonna come out, and then it just went boop. I was like, oh, okay. If it's meant to come out, it will, but I wonder what it was. Clarify Angel of Strength in the challenging position, Spirit. Thank you. Ooh, the World. Oh, no world. The World is here, so that's about successful completion of a cycle. That's literally the last major arcana of the tarot, And then you start all over again and you end up with this guy, the Fool. Starting from scratch, everything brand new, right? So I do feel like it took a lot of strength, and it was not easy for you guys to close out a cycle, whatever the cycle was, because it's going to be different for everybody. But whatever the cycle was, again, we got this nine of cups here on the bottom. This is what was necessary for you guys to really find a sense of, overall contentment and happiness in your life. And you guys remember we were talking about head over heart. So we have that thinking man from one deck, and then we got the Queen of Swords here. I almost said Ace of Swords. I wouldn't be shocked if it showed up for some reason. But a great sense of clarity. So even if that card doesn't show up for some reason, I'm picking up on it. But yes, some of you might have that in your chart. But I'm also just kind of getting the fact that you guys had to be very, very discerning and cutting with your words, maybe. Like, you had to really speak your truth. And I'm definitely getting that you might resonate with 3-1-1-3 when I looked up. So same thing backwards and forwards, and it's giving me like 13, and it's giving me like like the death card, major transformations happening. So this is a part of the process. And it really took you to have a sense. I heard the word bravery, like bravery when it came to your words, to be able to say what needed to be said. To for those of you who stuck around and saw that, now, okay, rewind if you want. Did I not say I'm getting Ace of fucking Swords before it even showed up? And what's here when I split the deck? Clarity and confirmation from spirit. Oh my God, it's got goosebumps. Like, act like this doesn't happen on my channel all the time, but it's like when it happens like that, especially the Ace of Swords, oh my God, that's one of my favorite cards in the whole deck. So it's like, holy shit. Yeah, like major clarifications and insight. You're also very divinely protected too, so it's like all those great things that help when it comes to this overall growth and expansion, right? Closing out those old cycles. Let's get one more from here. And 1 second. There we go. All right. One more card from this deck. And I have a couple of other decks that I would like to read from as well. Spirit. Yeah, see, the Tower. So these two cards, and I said this earlier, but these two cards are pretty much the same thing, just from two different decks. So we saw the Storm Warning, which is like destruction, right? And the Tower represents the same thing. So definitely like a Tower moment that had to kind of take place and transpire in your life that contributed to a lot of this stuff. But you are protected. And not only are you protected, but you've gained, and I said this earlier as well, a sense of resilience. We have the 9 of Wands here on the bottom, which represents resilience for sure. And not only does it represent resilience, but it's kind of giving me like wounded warrior kind of energy. Somebody who's been through a lot of stuff, but they always come out on top. So yeah, you might have had to kind of skedaddle from certain circumstances and situations that weren't serving you. But now you're on this healing journey. The star here in the middle of the deck. So, beautiful energy to be in. So, even when, things seem a little bit, bleak and you're like, I don't know if I'm on the right path. I don't know if I'm doing things the way I'm supposed to, so on and so forth. Just know there is a great sense of growth and expansion happening for you. I feel drawn to pull one more from this deck. And I really like this one. I got this one like maybe 3 weeks ago. And it was just a little, mindless like Target purchase. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I really like this deck. Like, I read for myself with them, and super strong energy. I'm just like, whoa, like super accurate. I'm just like, wow, this might be my go-to deck now. We have Ace of Wands here, So, yeah, passionate new beginnings. You know, for some of you, might be thinking about, first off, you're feeling really inspired or about to start feeling really inspired. But for some of you, it could also be something along the lines of like passionate new beginnings when it comes to like a creative venture too. And that's been showing up a lot. So they do want you to kind of like put your energy into that a bit. Yeah. Some of you may be like spiritual teachers yourselves. Um, this is a little more specific, but for some of you, you might benefit from, and this is not like an attack or anything like that, but Spirit wanted me to say this, so I'm going to say it. Some of you might be dealing with some mental health issues, and you might benefit from investing in some services with like a therapist or something like that. That's very specific. That doesn't even really go with anything that was happening here. But there could be a reason why Spirit wanted me to say that. Because, yeah, you might be like losing sleep and stuff like that, having nightmares, then with like a lot of stress and anxiety. Let me know if that resonates with anyone. But yeah, it might be a time to kind of invest in yourself and your overall well being and your health, is what I'm kind of getting from that. All right, so I'm going to pull from, and Aya just happened to respawn at the perfect time because guess where I'm about to pull from? The Shaman's Dream. And my girl right here, Aya Inspired Tarot, she actually gifted me this deck. So, very important deck to me. And great one at that. Like it's just it's very powerful. Like the first time I read from it for myself, I cried, and I was like, oh wow, would you look at that? Very powerful. So very grateful, very thankful. Check my girl out, and if my girl Phoenix Priestess is still here too, check her out as well. If you want, you could like kind of scroll up to find her name and check her out. But amazing people. These are my sisters, my soulies. So we have, and remember I was saying something about the number 13 before. Here we go with a little more confirmation. When I split the deck, we have Dream Thief, refusal of the call. So there are certain things that you're being called to do that you might be kind of like acting like you don't feel the nudges that Spirit is giving you and shit like that. Pay attention and listen. Trust me, I get it because I do the same shit sometimes. So that could be Spirit talking to me directly. But yeah, when you feel drawn to do something, do it, because your soul is, aligning you with your purpose. So if you feel, drawn to do something that just seems outlandish in the moment, you're like, why do I feel so like drawn like to do this and that? Like there's a reason. So just go with it. I have some information to share with you guys after the end of this reading, actually, if you want to stick around. But yeah, let's get like 2 or 3 more shuffles from here. All right. Let's see what we have in the bottom. Many masks, the authentic self. So some of you guys might not be living as your authentic self as of now, like struggling with being in your full purpose, maybe feeling like embarrassed or 38 as I said that, and the number is 38 on here. So there could be some truth to that. Hey Ari, how are you? Thank you for joining in. Grateful. Yeah, some of you might be having a hard time with being your authentic self right now and wearing masks so that you can fit in or blend in, or just having a hard time being like your full true self at this time. And I can resonate with that for sure. I struggle with that a lot, actually. Um, like, just to use myself as an example, like I have a hard time with promoting myself like on social media and stuff, especially like amongst people who I actually know, because I'm like, well, what if they like look at me as a bad person or something for what I do? And all I'm doing is like helping people, but I still struggle with that. 39 as I say that, and it's like, I don't know, like I will be completely authentic with you guys right now and say that I am not living in my full authenticity when it comes to that. I'm not. So some of you might resonate with something along those lines. It's time for us to get up out of that and be our true selves. Be authentic to who you truly are. You know, don't stifle yourself. Don't sell yourself short, and don't dim your light. Do not dim your light. Don't let naysayers or anybody like that come in and try to, mess that up for you. Because, and even if it's like, your own self-talk and stuff like that, same thing, you know. Don't let that come in and destroy your peace and your light. Because I know I'm good for that. I can tell you that right now. I can tell you that right now. Definitely a thing that I still kind of work on to this day. So some of you guys might be dealing with that as well. Thank you. Straddling worlds, wandering between realms. Yeah, so it's like, you're kind of, in between a rock and a hard place. It's like, you're not, especially because if you're not being truly, fully who you are and, living authentically, you're always going to feel like you're in that bubble, right? Of, like wishy-washy, half in, half out. It's like, you gotta, this is bad. I can't believe Spirit is letting me use this as a reference. That's not okay. Okay. And I promise you, I am not saying anything bad about people who have, mental, or not mental, but learning disabilities. But if any of you guys have ever seen, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm gonna get canceled. Tropic Thunder. And it's the part when they say, never go full retard. And it's fucking. I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm saying this. Because I work with kids with special needs, so it's like that's not. It's funny in the sense of the movie, but it's not funny like generally. Okay. But I love that movie, and I've loved that movie for a very long time. But like Robert Downey Jr. when he says, "Never go full retard," it's like, no, fuck that. Go full on. Just go for it. Hey Eva, how are you? Nice to see you here. Always blessed and appreciative to see you. But yeah, for some reason, Spirit wanted that to be the punchline, and I'm like, oh come on, I feel so guilty saying that, but that movie is hilarious, and I haven't seen it. I have to watch it again. I'm good for the most part. I hope you're well, though. Well, you already said you're well, but everybody who's here, I'm hoping everybody's well as well. So many redundancies on that sentence. What else? Lost in space, needing a direction. Exactly. And that's kind of why I did this, Oh, my baby's here. Hi, babe. Yeah, so, maybe feeling a little bit lost, right? Needing a little bit of direction. I mean, I think the big thing here is, right, what we kind of saw and we're picking up on, like trying to be too many things at one time, but not really ever truly being your full authentic self. And that is where a lot of the issues lie. But I feel like there's like an ending approaching when it comes to that, because the number on here is 36, and that's 9, or adds up to 9, which is about approaching an ending. So there's this sense of closure, as we talked about the world earlier, a sense of closure happening and coming through when it comes to that. Like, I think you guys have been realizing more and more lately, like, and feeling inspired too, like, to be like, fuck that shit, I'm gonna be me. Like, y'all don't have to like it, but I love it. You know what I mean? And that's perfectly okay. We have skywriting on the bottom of the deck, and it is the fates. So this is fated to happen like this. Some of you actually might. I'm getting more than one message with that, but like it's like written to be this way. Like this is literally fate. Giving me like Wheel of Fortune vibes. But not only that, but I'm also getting some of you actually might be writers. I'm getting poetry, books, music. Yeah, some of you also might benefit from writing just in general, writing your thoughts, dreams. Let me know if any of that resonates or makes sense to you. The wall. Yeah, feeling like you're blocked, right? some blockages happening with obstacles, but but there's this ending happening and closure. Sky bridge, possibility for union. So with that, I'm kind of getting, it's like you're going to be able to be like kind of united with exactly where you're meant to be in this part of the journey, this person that you're becoming, getting more in tune with yourself. Let's get maybe two more from here. And then we'll pull from one more deck, and that will be the end of the reading. Spirit. All right. This card feels very heavy to me. We have Root Girl. It says the disowned self. And I think the reason why it felt so heavy is because it's in the reverse. And if you look at the card itself, like it's like she looks like she's like holding herself and she's like almost on fire as she's growing up out of those roots. Some of you might be dealing with some stuff that stems back as far as childhood. And that's why you've always felt like you had to wear all these masks and not really be true to yourself. So we have 36, which adds up to 9, and then we have 46, which adds up to 10. So it's that energy of that closure. Wow, this card is like really striking right now to me. I don't want to spend too much time on that one card, but like I felt really drawn and connected to that one. Whew, okay. Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. I don't think I've ever seen this card before. Interesting. Moving out of stagnation. Yeah, moving on. Moving on. Dust yourself off and try again. Spirit of the River, movement forward, or sorry, movement toward adventure. And the number on here is 50. We had another 50 here earlier, which was this one earlier in the reading. So you might be seeing the number 50 or number 5 or number 10 a lot. Let me know if that resonates. Wow. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, they really want, look, those fives are coming out strong right now. The farther gate, both step forward, which is the same thing as like the Fool basically here. So it's like, you guys are really taking that leap of faith towards the unknown, things that might make you uncomfortable, but it's time to be bold. It's time to, you gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. Yeah, like that kind of energy, like doing something different, something that's out of your norm to, kind of push you and test you. I'm not going to give the whole spiel I always give about this particular deck, but for those of you who know, you know. Whoa, look at this. Okay, wait a minute. There's a card that's in the middle that doesn't belong. So let's see what that card is, because whenever that happens, there's a reason why. All right, so this is, for those of you who are aware, this is the deck that I carry this feather in. And it's very meaningful to me because my grandfather, that was his way to communicate with me. So I'm not going to give the whole story, but just know that. So I keep it in this particular deck, which is the Guiding Light deck. And I'm going to close out with this one. And this does not belong here. But when I was taking the other cards out, this was in the middle. Like I spill the cards over and only half of the deck breaks. I'm like, what the hell's up with that? And this one was in the middle of the deck. How weird is that? So this is Shambhala Initiations, retreating to recharge, trusting in the process, and Dharma. So there's definitely a time of rehealing, working on yourself as a whole. Working on your whole vessel. Why was I gonna say it a little weird like that? Your whole vessel. you know, holistic kind of approach to taking care of yourself. And, you know, just understand that, you know, again, I said this earlier, but Rome was not built in a day, right? So this is a time to 50:05 when I looked up. This is a time for you to really just understand the importance of focusing on your overall well-being. And this is everything that you're going through, you know, it has been helping to prepare you for what's about to come in. We did see the cornucopia card earlier, which is about the fruit of your labor coming together. And we have Dharma on this card. So just understand that even if it doesn't all make sense right now, oh, it will. When you start to see things kind of happening and you're going to be like, holy shit. When I split deck, we have the golden stars. The stars are lining up for the perfect opportunity now. It's giving me, look at the stars, look how they shine for you and everything you do. For those of you who like Coldplay like me, I love them. I've been a fan since high school, so. Anywho, don't need to age myself too much. But, yes. Let's get maybe 2 or 3 from here, and that will be the end of this reading. And for those of you who were able to pop in, even if it's just briefly, I greatly appreciate all of you. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. And subscribe if you're new to the channel. Greatly appreciate all of you guys for popping in. I'm also proud of myself for being on here for 2 days in a row. Because you guys know I've been struggling with being consistent. So, that's your daughter's favorite band. I love them. Oh, that whole album was really good. Viva La Vida was like really good. I'm trying to think what is my favorite album from them. Their first one is one of my favorites, but they have so much good stuff. Like it's kind of hard to say, to be honest. It's really hard to say. And thank you, I appreciate that. See, I need to do that. I think that would help me like. Yeah, because I love the fact that you can add different whatchamacallits, goals for the day on Finch. For those of you who don't know who Finch or what Finch is and you end up watching later or whatever, like it's a really cool, cute little like, you know, like a self-care Tamagotchi, if you will, and like you take care of it by taking care of yourself. And it's really cute. And it doesn't die. It's not like, like when we were kids and like, your teacher took your Tamagotchi away and you're like, fuck, like I didn't feed it. I didn't clean up its shit and stuff like that and then play with it. And now it's dead when I get out of school and get the little angel wings. I have like legit memories of that. No, it's not like that. So like, if you don't take care of it, it's not like it's gonna die or anything, but you could give it full energy and stuff by doing stuff for yourself and things like that, which is really cool. And my girl did put me on. I've been using it for I think I'm on my 34th day and it's really cool. I love it, and I told a couple of people who I'm cool with about it as well. So yeah. Anywho, we've got Rise Above. I felt like needing to like take a breath for a second. And it's giving me like, for you guys, you might just feel like a weight gonna be like lifted. If it hasn't happened already, it's going to happen soon. You will gain clarity on this situation when you can see it from a higher perspective. So yes, changing our perspective on things is so important, right? I'm gonna say our, because I have the same tendency sometimes to look at things from, not the best mindset, and I'm working on mindset right now. But there are those times or situations and things like that that make it where it's hard, like whether it's your own ways of thinking and, things or people around you, like it's hard sometimes. It really is. And, give yourself that sense of grace, because it's like, it does take, a little bit of finessing, right? To get to that point where you could just really just be like, fuck everything and everyone. I'm on my own wavelength, right? It's like, it's not easy to do that and have that kind of mindset. 54, 45 when I said that, like, And that goes back to like that number 9 that we were talking about earlier. Number 9, number 9. I'm not sure if any of you guys are Beatles fans and are a fan of the White Album. Revolution 9 is one of the songs in there. It's like a really trippy song. I suggest listening to it with headphones if you do listen to it. Maybe smoke a J when you do it. But anywho, let's get a couple more from here. All right, what we got here? Meet you at the crossroads. The number 11 might be really significant. I was saying that earlier, but I'm really picking up on it even more because 2 cards in a row have added up to the number 11. Because the other one was 47, and now we have actual 11 on here, representing choices, right? A new business adventure, project, or career is currently in the works for you. But see, with it having that crossroads energy, it's definitely giving me like choices to be made, right? It's like, okay, well, you have to make the conscious effort and decision to say, ooh, I'm going to do something different. So if there's been any fear that is associated with this, just know that we also did see this card as well, which is kind of giving some confirmation that they want you to push forward when it comes to that. Being able to say, you know what, I have some creative ideas and stuff like that. So on and so forth, like, but you have to be able to believe in yourself and say, you know what, I think this is a time for me to actually branch out and do something that's uncomfortable, right, and different. Tell me these cards don't look the goddamn same. We have expansion. I'll read the card and then I'll show you the card. You are getting ready to move up into a higher level of awareness through embracing your life experiences. And we also have Ace of Wands here, which we already talked about, but those look so similar, right? And wow, it's definitely this energy of like they want you to get more inspired, and the inspiration that you've been feeling, they want you to really push forward and work towards that, for sure. For sure. Bottom of the deck, we have interesting, because I have one of my soulies, or a couple of my soulies here, who we've been talking about this collaboration, because we're talking about this creative venture. It's not going to resonate with everybody, but take it if it does. Say yes to the exciting new opportunities and partnerships that are on their way to you now. So some of you might be able to have a collaborative effort with somebody or some people who are part of like, this, portion of your life right now, what you're doing with your career. We talked about like synchronicities and stuff a little while ago, and now we got some more. Follow the signs. Excuse me. Look around for the clues. The answers to your question are right in front of you. Oops, sorry, almost dropped the card. Yeah, I like that. It's also kind of giving me like, just because of the other energy that I was picking up on before, it's giving me like 8 of Wands. Like, so if you've been feeling like guided, for instance, to like reach out to somebody for like a collaborative effort, or following up on like an email or something like that, when it comes to something that you've been working on career wise, there's definitely some type of confirmation there where they're like pushing you guys to do that if you haven't done it already. We have Supernova. Is her Champagne Supernova. Who is that? Oasis, I think. For my 80s and 90s babies. Champagne Supernova. An aspect of your personality or ego self must die to make way for the shiny new star to be born. Yup, yup. Now I just, as I'm talking about, I love you, Aya, aka Veronica. It's just funny because, like, that's one of our connections is music, and like, it's just funny because like you'll like start like singing like a Fleetwood Mac tune or something. I'm like, hey, I know that song, or vice versa, or the Beatles or something. That's so funny how that's one of the ways we've connected. And now we're talking about Oasis with Champagne Supernova, and then I'm thinking about Wonderwall. I loved that song. Today's gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. Like, I love that song. You know what's funny? You mentioned the smoke detector, right? Like, there was a time where like all of them were going off because like the batteries keep dying. So it's like I've replaced the batteries like a gazillion times, and I'm like, I'm not gonna keep doing this. And part of it is because of this. Like, it's an energetic thing. So I'll change the batteries, and then it's back to the same shit. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna keep fucking changing batteries. 9-volt batteries are expensive, okay? Like, I'm like, as long as the one in the kitchen works, we should be all right. We're in a building. Like, everything's very closely like connected. There's one in the hallway. There's like one in here. There's one in the kitchen, which is right there. There's one in the hallway, like right there. There's one in my round. Like, there's a bunch of them. We will be fine. But thank you for your care and concern. I really appreciate that. But anywho, um, so maybe gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder wall. I love that song. Who was it? Was it my little brother? He's like, he sounds like fucking Big Bird. I'm like, that's fucked up. Why you say he sounds like Big Bird? But anyway, guys, that is actually the end of the actual reading. So I am grateful and appreciative of you guys for sticking around for the past hour. Um, I love you guys and appreciate you guys so much. And if you haven't done so already and you're new, please hit that subscribe button or the like button. Any of those things that can help me connect with you and vice versa and help support the channel. It is free after all to do those kind of things, right? Yeah. Oh, and the notification bell is very important as well because then you know when I'm on, when I do specials and things like that. Because I do happen to do those from time to time, free readings and things of that nature. Um, but for those of you who are interested as well in this, I did something today that I have been wanting to do for at least a couple of years, and I finally did it. And I started a group on Facebook, and it's very, very green. It's very, very new. And it's called Life Mantra Healing Haven. So if you were to look that up, it is you can find it. It's searchable on Facebook, and it is basically just geared towards collective healing and working together as a collective to be able to help each other heal. There will be some collective readings and stuff like that on there, and to kind of work together and you know just again be a part of that journey of helping each other heal and work together as a collective to be able to be our higher selves and embrace that, talking about our own individual journeys and how we got to where we are, and giving each other tips and things like that, and using our intuition to also be able to kind of push through our different challenges and things of that nature. So I would greatly appreciate you guys if you remember or feel like doing so. Again, it's called Life Mantra Healing Haven. I was gonna call it Healing Hub, and I changed it. So I'm like, that sounds too much like Pornhub. So I was like, let me change that. So like, yeah, they might get the wrong idea. But yeah, so nonetheless, check it out. And like I said, it is new, so give me some time to kind of branch into this new realm when it comes to these different adventures that I'm working on. And not only that, but also to kind of get it like kind of from the ground up. And yeah, so with all that said, what did you say? Okay. Okay. All right, lovies. You guys have a great night. I'm about to eat something for dinner, and then what time is it, anyways? 9:30. Not bad. So I have like an hour and a half before my bedtime. But anywho, all right. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your evening, and until next time.